Last week we talked about how to systematize and organize your operational procedures of your self-storage business. Right before that we had a 5-episode series on how to read your financial statements and begin to use your financial statements as a way to look into your business and inform you what to do. And today I want to give you one more idea on how to create optics or a telescope so you can look into your business. My name's Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I'm the creator of the Self-Storage Quick Start Academy. I have training and support, both free and paid for, that support the small investor in getting in the self-storage business or growing their self-storage business in a strategic way that creates true wealth and a fulfilling career. And like most things that are good in life, it's a simple concept, but I want to talk about it today, and it's an idea that will make a big difference in your self-storage business. Yes, I know if you're in the business and you've got a property that's already existing and stabilized, yeah, you're probably over 90% and things are going well, but I'm here to tell you those days do not last forever. I'm already beginning to see it in some of the markets that we're in. We're beginning to see the shift, the loss in occupancy. And although it's not in every market, you're going to begin to see the occupancy rates begin to go down. And then you're going to be wondering, what do I do to get it up? And what most owners do is they immediately grab 10 or 12 levers and start pulling them, hoping that something they do will make a difference. Don't be that business owner. And what's one of the ways? Well, we talked about learning how to read your financial statements. That will inform you where your business is going down. But here's my suggestion. Start measuring everything. Measure everything. Even things you cannot figure out what you would use that information for at this moment, measure that as well. If the phone rings, how many times does the phone ring? If the phone rings and it's a call about an inquiry call about the pricing on your self-storage, how many times that the phone rings is it an inquiry call? Measure everything. If someone walks into your store, count that. If someone drives by and says they saw your sign, count that. If someone calls and then walks into your store to view the place after a phone call, count that. Obviously, count how many people rent from you. Count how many people don't rent from you. Measure how long customers are in your store. Measure why they leave. Measure how they found you. Everything you can think of, begin to count it and measure it. Why? Because when you start spending your dollars on getting that occupancy back up, you're no longer guessing where you need to spend it or what you need to spend it on. You will know exactly. You will know the value of a customer. You'll know how long the average customer stays in your place. You will know you can spend up to $500 per customer and still make a profit from having them sign a lease with you. Measure everything. Why? Because you can make better business decisions about your self-storage business. It isn't always going to be 93% occupancy. We have one market where we have literally gone from 97% occupancy all the way down to the high 80s. And the only thing that's changed is there's more square footage in the market, in that particular sub-market. Now, I don't want to go from the high 80s down to the low 80s. We're not going to do that at that facility. Why? Because I know where to spend the dollars to get people back in the door and beat my competitors at having them come to our facility over theirs. Why? Because I know exactly how much and where to spend my marketing dollars. Without that information, all I would be doing is guessing and hoping and throwing money at many different scenarios and not knowing which one of them is working the best. Why? Because there's no way to measure when you've thrown money at 5 different advertising outlets and you don't have a way to track it, which one's producing and which one isn't. I got into self-storage business in the early 2000s, and then I got out around 2003, 2004, and it was about 4 years before I got back in. And when I got back in 2008, I just did what I had been doing before. Where did most of my customers come from in 2000? Now, if you were in the self-storage business in 2000 or 2001, where did most of your customers come from? Well, 86% of our customers came from the Yellow Pages. So when I got back in the business, where do you think I put my advertising money? Why, I know, I've been in this business before. I put it in the Yellow Pages. And what I noticed was that my move-outs remained the same as the other owner, but my move-ins started going down. Why? Well, maybe I need a bigger Yellow Page ad. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe instead of spending $25,000, I should spend $50,000 and get a bigger Yellow Page ad. Well, obviously I knew enough to begin to measure where the leases that we are renting from, where they are coming from, and I quickly saw that Yellow Pages accounted for about, back then, maybe 7 to 8% of the new leases. So I knew buying a bigger Yellow Page ad was not the answer, but I would not have known that had I not been measuring. In August, I'm going to do a series on how to do some online advertising. But as a lead up to that, what will make a big difference is if you know your numbers. Now, here are some of the things that we measure. We measure how many inquiry phone calls do we get. We measure how many people walk into the facility after having made an inquiry phone call. We measure how many people walk into the facility who have not made a phone call. We obviously measure how many people rent from us. I know what the close ratio is. I know that if someone makes a call and comes and visits our facility, 93% of the time, they will execute a rental agreement with us. How do I know that? We measure that. We track that. If I have a manager that doesn't hit 93% or close, I know that that manager needs some training. After the training, if that manager still does not hit 93%, I know I put that person in the wrong position. We measure how people found us, how they heard about our company. When they leave, we measure why are they moving out, so we know what had them leave. We measure how long they stay. We measure how much money the average person spends with us. I know how much money is spent on retail every month. I know what percentage of our facilities the tenants currently have tenant insurance. Measure everything or know where to find it on your reports. Why? Because then you will know where to spend your marketing dollars. So let me give you a concrete example. We have, like I talked about, we have a sub-market where we have a project. The move-outs have stayed about the same, but the move-in, the rate of move-in has slowed 32%. So in other words, we're just not getting the phone calls and we're not getting the new move-ins that we were getting a year ago. Why? Because there's more competition in that sub-market. Facilities, particularly some very aggressive REITs, have opened up in that sub-market and are offering very low rates with first month off. Now, I don't want to spiral down to that level in ours. Why? Because we're over 90% or high 80s. I don't feel the need to compete at that level because I'm not in lease up. Yet, I don't want to continue losing occupancy. So what are we going to do? Well, I know the value of a customer at that facility. The value of a customer at that facility is $2,220. In other words, since we've opened it, every time somebody moves in, on average, that person is worth $2,220 to us. Yes, they're people. Yes, they're worth a lot more than just money. But in terms of a business analysis, each customer that signs a lease is worth $2,220 to us. Now, I'm going to run and test different specials. We're going to test $50 off your first month, and we're going to test only $99 for a 10 by 10 climate control, and see which one of those work better. It's exactly the same cost to us, but I want to find out which one the public likes better. Yes, I'm going to test that. I'm going to measure that. Then we're going to run that $50 off 99 special ad on Facebook and on Google Ads. We'll talk about that next month. But I budgeted the $800 over a 4-week period to run and test those ads to see how they work. And I will know exactly what my return on investment is. So let me give you an example of the math. Let's say that we rent 4 units. What did I make? Well, if you look at the math, 4 times 2,220 is $8,880. In other words, if I get 4 customers from this ad campaign on Facebook and Google AdWords, the value of those customers is almost $9,000. What will that ad cost me? Let's take a look. Well, first of all, the discount will be 4 times $50 or $200, plus the $800 cost of the ad campaign, so that'll be $1,000. Now, what will my net profit be from that ad? My net profit will be $7,880. Now, would you run an ad to generate that kind of return? Absolutely. What if it's better than 4 customers coming in? What if it's 6? What if it's 8? What if I get 0 in the first 2 weeks? What do you think I'll do then? Well, here's the thing. I know the numbers. I know what I can spend. I have a benchmark number on my return on investment for ad campaigns. And I know through measuring how effective Facebook has been in the past and how effective Google AdWords have been in the past. So I'm going to break up that $800 and place it accordingly. But I can only do that because I measure everything. So my coaching to you is begin to measure everything. Let me tell you, the REITs and the big players, this is what they do. And there's no reason why, as a self-storage owner in today's business environment, you cannot play at the exact same level that they're playing at. Yes, they have 1 or 2 more zeros after everything they spend, but you won't have to spend like that. Why? Because you will know what's effective and what's not effective. And let me give you a hint. What's effective today is not going to be the same thing that'll be effective 6 months from now. Don't think because it worked once, it'll work again. I've seen ads that worked a month ago not work a month later. I've seen Facebook advertising that was generating huge returns in less than 6 months. That's no longer the place to run the ads. Run them over here. I never assume I know anymore what works in marketing and what doesn't. Why? We're always measuring and we're always testing, and it's constantly changing. Measure everything. Then start quoting the numbers. Talk to your banker. Talk to your partners. Talk to your employees. They will be impressed that you're measuring and you know the stats and you know your number. Measure everything about your business. Know exactly what's working, what's not working. And why would you do that? Well, because you can create really valuable company, a valuable self-storage business, and you can create true wealth and a fulfilling career in this fantastic business of self-storage. No other business offers smaller investors the value and the safety and the cash flow that this industry does. But don't be one of these people that just makes money in the good times and then struggles when everything turns. Be someone who knows how to effectively adjust what you're doing when the business cycle begins to turn, and you will be a force to be reckoned with in this industry. Thank you very much. My name's Mark Helm. I'm the author of Creating Wealth Through Self-Storage, and I love the Storage World Analyzer. Please check it out if it's not something you're using to analyze existing facilities. ground up opportunities, conversion opportunities, expansion opportunities. That program will assist you in analyzing the cash flows of all of them, and you will know exactly what you can pay, what you can't pay. We love it. It's the most powerful tool in our program. You can go to storageworldanalyzer.com or creatingwealththroughselfstorage.com, find out more about it. So thank you very much. I look forward to connecting with you soon. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, do so. I'm not sure where you're seeing this, but I have a YouTube channel that hosts a lot of these episodes. Please subscribe to that if you haven't. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later.